Human body, we don't have it figured out, but goddamn, they're getting closer and closer.
But it goes back to the fact that we're all very complicated. We're all individuals. So have a little compassion for each other.
Have a little compassion would be nice. There's a lot of people lashing out because they don't feel good. And I watched this lady the other day cut in front of somebody. It was hilarious. This guy's trying to get into this lane, and this lady speeds up to try to keep the guy from getting in the lane, and the guy sees it, so he just kind of eases over anyway, and she just lays on her horn, bam, and then the guy pulls up, like he's in this lane now, and he pulls up, and she gets in the next lane, shoots in front of him, turns her car in front of him, and slams on the brakes.
Jesus
and
Christ.
So he gets to the left of her and just starts going towards her, and she freaks out and turns into traffic and has to slam on the brakes. Like, you just had a crazy hissy fit over nothing because you did that cunty thing that all of us have been guilty of doing, where you don't let somebody in your lane, and this guy was like, fuck you, I'm getting in. It's like she sped up to keep him from going in. You watched it all play out, and you're like, wow.
I was in Park City with my mother driving her SUV, and I wasn't even driving fast, and this older woman with a very old, like an old matronly, like, you used to be the principal of your school, and short hair, and she had her golden retriever, and she dressed in a preppy fashion. Slow down!
Oh my God.
And then I go, oh, and I wasn't even going fast, and she just goes, and I could hear her make that noise. She goes, like that with her, and she gave me the hardest middle finger.
Oh my God.
And I went, are you kidding me? And she goes, I'm calling the police, and reached for her phone right away.
For
and
what?
I go, that's what I said. I go, oh, for what? I go, have a nice day, and just kept going.
I remember getting in a road rage situation with this dude when I first moved to LA. We're looking at each other on the highway, and he takes his shirt off to show me his tattoos.
Tight move.
He's screaming at me, and I'm not reacting. I'm just looking at him. I'm like, what is going to happen here? I'm like, why is this guy trying so hard to scare me? He's like, fuck you, fucking pull over. Fucking pull over. So he takes his shirt off. He's got these tattoos, and by the way, he does not look built. I'm like, you're in trouble, fella. You don't really know how to fight.
Sloppy.
I highly doubt. I mean, you get fooled sometimes, but I'm like, this is a guy that's trying to scare me, which is he's probably terrified.
A lot of noise.
Yeah, and so I'm just looking at him, and the more I'm looking at him, he just keeps screaming at me because I'm not reacting to him. I'm just like looking at him, and he's screaming, and I'm in my car driving, and he's looking at me. And I was driving a Suburban too, which I thought was hilarious because he goes, "You rich piece of shit." I was like, I'm in a Suburban. How do you know if I'm rich?
Suburban.
Like, this isn't even like a rich car. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, where's this coming from? It was real screamy. And I was thinking at this time, I could make a terrible mistake. Or I could say, oh, yeah, I think I could just fuck this guy up. Let me pull his car over and teach his asshole
What you do as a
lesson.
young guy.
Yeah, I was only like 28 at the time. I was still pretty fucking stupid. But this guy screaming at me almost made me realize how dumb it is. I was like watching this, taking his shirt off, showing me his tattoos.
There's no upside.
To this day, though, there'd be like a day would go by that I would think I should have just fucked that dude up.
Whip his ass with his shirt off.
20 years ago. Of course. It was 20 years ago.
What's the best case scenario, though?
I literally think I should have just pulled over and kicked that fucking dude's legs out from under him and choked him unconscious.
Be hilarious.
But it's so stupid to harbor those thoughts
silly.
20 years later.
Yeah.
That's how dumb those instances where you want to go in a lane and someone doesn't want to let you and they speed up and they're like, fucking honk, honk, fuck you. Like that tension. It's so dumb. You'll hold on to some of those dumb thoughts for decades.
Dude, I had a guy the other day. I was driving off Abbott Kinney. I looked at my phone at directions, and I was at a stop sign. And, it was my turn to go, but I was looking down at my phone for directions. And this guy behind me, he's like a regular worker, like in a car, just goes nuts, honking and horning. And I waved at him, like, my bad, man. And then I'm driving. He goes around me, slams on the brakes. And starts flipping me off talking shit.
Oh, my God.
Oh, dude, come on,
my God.
man. And then I'm like, all right, go, man. I got it. I fucked up. Keep going. And then he won't let me go. I'm like, dude, you got to let me go, man. And he just keeps talking shit. I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do, man? I'm going to beat up this dad? What the fuck am I going to do?
But he's playing a game that he thinks he's safe playing. Because we're not in Serbia. Nobody's pulling guns out and gunning people down the street. These people, they'll do that kind of shit. I watched these two guys race each other, and they were cutting in front of each other and slam on the brakes and doing that thing and slamming on the brakes and yelling shit at each other out the window. and you just watch him and you go like, this could be nothing or it could be your life.
Correct.
Like you could hit that guy, he can go into traffic, somebody could die, he could hit someone on the street. Like you guys are speeding like you're in this death race, like you're in some fucking Mad Max movie, but you're on a residential street.
Dude, me and this guy, he's yelling at me, and I'm like, what are you gonna do, man? What are you gonna do? You gonna fight me? What the fuck you gonna do? And he's, yeah, that's exactly what the fuck I'm gonna do. And I was like, I took off my glasses and I went, you're fucking serious. You're serious right now. He's like, keeps going. And then I thought, well, am I going to get out and
get shot
and fight this guy? Yeah, I said, what if he has a gun?
Yeah.
So, and I was wanting to go left, but I couldn't because he's blocking me. So I went right. I thought, man, my brother and my friends will make fun of me for going right when I should have went left. But
it's the right thing to do. It's the right
that's
thing
what
to do.
I was driving
Just
like, what am I going to do? Fight this fucking guy?
think of that as being like you run into a dog. Are
I
you supposed to like, hey, fuck you, dog? No, you sit, bitch.
I know.
Sit. No, you're supposed to go, I gotta go. But the problem is it's a person. So a person you think of as different than a dog. Like a dog is like, you're like, I gotta get the fuck away from that dog. You gotta get the fuck away from that person too.
It's an ego thing too.
Right.
Yeah.
But listen, dude.
But I didn't have that.
99.9% of the
dude.
fucking human beings you interact with, you can kill.
Yeah.
Like that should play heavy on your mind.
No, you know what played on my mind was I bet he's going through some shit. He probably worked like a double shift.
Yeah.
Someone probably was texting before me, and he's just taking his anger out on me. I'm just going to go right. Fuck this, man. I don't need this.
Yeah, but he could have been 10, and still acted like that. And you should have the same reaction. Like, oh, God. Look at
True.
this. Like, it's a child.
Oh,
He's a child. He's a grown-up baby.
dude, when he cut
who's
me off, I
pretending
couldn't
he's
go
going to kick
left.
your ass.
I know. I was like, what the fuck?
One of
man?
two things. Either has a gun or he's fucking insane. Those are the only two possibilities.
Correct.
Right? Or he doesn't realize you're a gorilla sitting in your car. You look like a normal-sized person.
I'm in an orange Porsche, so it's probably like, fuck this
It's
guy.
a normal. Yeah, he probably feels like you're some preppy dickhead from Bel Air.
Yeah.
Some cutie pie.
You'd be right. Yeah.
Imagine.
So we're talking about like road rage incidences. They've figured out why people have road rage too, and one of the reasons why it occurs so often is not just a separation by barriers between you and the other person, so you don't have social cues. It's also that your senses are jacked up because you're in the situation where you know that you have to react potentially at a very fast rate. You have to be able to react instantaneously to someone changing your lane. Slam on the brakes.
Yeah.
You got to be, so you're at heightened states. And so then you interact with people that you think maybe are fucking with that heightened state. And you just fucking lay on that horn, you piece of shit, you cut me off. And everybody's been guilty of it. And everybody has to learn to negotiate that weird extra urge of aggression that you get when you're in your car. And don't get out of the car and fight. Don't do it.
No, don't do it.
But people want to do it, man. They want to do it all the time.
No.
Bad idea.
People shoot people
I
all
feel
the
like they
time.
could look at your head and you've got a kind of a big head.
Now I got a friendly face, man.
What about your ears? Like
They're not thinking,
They
man.
don't
This
see
guy's
my
not.
ears.
First of all, this
they
guy.
see the bullshit haircut. I'm in an orange Porsche. I probably got skinny jeans on.
Yeah.
Guy's
Then when
not
I get out, I
thinking
get the
of fighting
boots.
anyone. He's not thinking of
Yeah.
fighting. It's all opposing thing. It's
Yeah,
all.
it is.
It's all a bluff charge. It's all
It's
it
a
is.
bluff charge. It's exactly what it
Exists
is.
in
The,
all
the
of
way he cut me
nature.
off, though, this guy was down.
Yeah, but he's not down. It's like a gorilla running up to you. He was never planning on smashing you.
Yeah, that shit worked. I went right.
Yeah.
I need to go left.
Yeah,
I had to
he
go
got
all
you.
the way around
He got
the
you.
block.
And he went home. His dick was hard as a rock, and he fucked the shit out of his
Yeah.
wife. I'm a fucking man. It was a guy. He cut me off, and I told him to fuck off. You want to fight, you motherfucker? He said no, and I'm gonna fuck you now.
that shit
I
worked.
win.
They say that in what was that book that by Malcolm Gladwell, where
Blink?
wherever you're from has to do with how you react to affronts. So, like they did this experiment where they would have a guy. Basically, they'd have you take 2 fake tests. And you had to take a test in this room, and then you had to go down the hall and take a test in another room. As you were walking down the hall to the other test, you would get somebody would walk by you, bump you, and go, "Watch out, asshole," and keep walking. And the dudes from the South versus the guys from the North. The dudes from the South, their serotonin level, whatever, all those levels, their serotonin levels, their testosterone levels, everything was jacked to the fucking roof. They were ready to fight. Dudes from the North, nah, not at all. They were like, whatever, what a dick. And it had to do, according to Gladwell, not really, also this guy Nisbet as well, it had to do with where you were from and, more importantly, where your ancestry heralded from. If you came from a culture, an honor culture, as opposed to what they called a dignity culture. So if you came from a culture where honor was everything. And those cultures are herding cultures. That's where you get the Chechenis. That's where you get the Afghanis. That's where you get the North Scots Irish. That's why
Armenians.
Armenians. That's
Armenians
why,
will fuck you up.
Fuck yes. Fuck. Armenians are tough as shit.
Shoulder check some
Are you
Armenian on the
kidding?
street.
They will punch you in the. They don't fuck around.
You
Armenians
get yourself a scrap.
and tight knit communities.
Yeah, I like that.
But it was from honor cultures and the Scots Irish, who settled where? The Appalachians, the Hatfields and the McCoys. The fuck you up. When you go to Ireland, you go to parts of the UK, you know, in the north where Tony's from. Good luck. Go see what happens in a bar when you want to get scrappy. You'll find plenty of man to meet you halfway. Whereas if you go to certain other parts of the world where they didn't come from herding cultures, where they came from a culture that relied mostly on agriculture, where it relied on cooperation, because when you're a herder and somebody steals your sheep, you will not survive the winter. So you got to let everybody know that if you do steal my sheep, I'm going to kill you and every man in your fucking family because I'm a crazy motherfucker. So you know, it's do or die here.
Right. It's literally survival of your family.
Nisbet and Gladwell just wrote a book about it, but like some of these guys who actually did the primary research on that prove that culture, even though you don't know those people, even though you're generations, you know, removed from that in this country, that shit has deep roots in your cultural psyche. Yeah. And of course also
probably
in the South,
some form of genetic memory.
Genetic memory, but also cultural memory. Also that's you're raised as a man to protect your cubic space.
Well, that guy who wanted to fight me was a herder.
I'm sure he was.
You
I'm
think
sure
so?
he was.
He's a
I think
herder.
he's probably on Adderall and he's faking.
He was down.
He's bluff charging.
He just got off a double shift. He has a herding mentality.
What kind of car did he have?
It was a L.A. county truck.
Oh,
he was Mexican.
If you guys want to read about that, Geography of Thought, I think, by Harold Nisbet. He's a phenomenal guy.
He's using a county truck?
Geography
Boy,
of
that's
Thought.
a dumb move. That's a way to get fired real quick.
He didn't give a fuck.
Gotcha.
He got me.
He got me.
I had to go around the block. It took me more time.
Because you don't come from that culture.
I was embarrassed.
Isn't it funny how he's such a badass, but he's like...
No, it's not that I don't... You do that to my brother. Listen, my brother's had some issues on the road, you know, and this stuff. My dad has, too. I've seen it with my own eyes. With me, the stuff I have going on, if I get out of that car,
you're right.
I fight that guy. I lose everything I stand for.
Yeah, for sure.
All my gigs. Everything's gone. And for what?
But it's self-defense, Brendan.
But it's not.
It's not. You're forcing
if you
yourself
get out of the
into
car,
an
you're
aggressive
We're both
situation.
fucked. And what do you think the headline reads? LA worker beats up UFC fighter? No.
I hope not.
No.
It'd be embarrassing.
No. I think you'd have real issues with you.
Ex-UFC fighter twists man's head off, gets arrested, goes to prison.
Yeah, that's not a good move.
His showtime, his e-show,
No
his stand-up,
upside. No
fucking
upside.
gone.
No upside.
Oh, there's nothing funny about a guy beating up another guy.
No, there's no upside to it. And it's also, you can avoid it. You know, it can be avoided.
I don't
think
care.
a lot of that posturing bullshit and screaming comes from not being able to fight.
I agree.
If you could have a bar filled with jiu-jitsu black belts, probably the friendliest fucking bar ever.
Yeah, the tough guys don't
It's
yell
like gun
that.
culture. Whenever you hang out with a bunch of gun guys, they're super formal and respectful of each other.
because they're used to seeing bullets flying around. Everybody's got to mind their P's and Q's when everybody's actually equal.
Yep.
If you're a bunch of gun handlers and all of you go into gun competitions and shit and you're shooting plink, 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 you're rolling and like fucking Keanu Reeves and shit, those guys, you know, they're equal to everybody in the world. All they have to do is this. I mean, they've balanced it out to a squeeze of a trigger and
SEAL
aiming
Team
with
6
your arms.
operatives aren't walking around going, I'm in the SEALs. Watch out, bro. I want to get to the front of the line.
Exactly.
You know?